We're doing a little property update today. Guys, behind us we have 2 dead trees, and you might have been right because when we first moved into this property, we wanted to do a lot of groundwork to help make the property more usable, less muddy, and just more even. So we had a lot of sand, fill dirt brought in to raise up the ground and cover up the muddy soil that we had. When that happened, a bunch of people told us to be careful because we're going to kill our trees if we put soil around the bases. Well, here we are, maybe 2 years later. We did have some trees die, but I'm not going to admit that you guys were right just yet because I'm not sure why they died. I don't know if it was our fill dirt or something else, and let me explain why. After we moved in, we had some pretty big flooding a couple of times, and it really messed up a lot of trees around here. We've actually seen a bunch of them die, trees that we had nothing to do with. So the flooding could have been a factor in some of these trees dying. Also, there might be a disease coming through because at the same time that these trees died right here, we saw trees in other people's properties all dying. I saw the brown leaves and they just died so quick. I don't know what happened, but something in our area just killed a whole bunch of trees, a lot of oak trees. I saw fields where all the trees were dead were living previously, and they all died at the same time, and apparently nothing changed. Everything was the same except for they just all died. And while we did do a lot of dirt work here, and I did drive around this tree a lot, and I did compact the ground and I added a lot of soil, back here is interesting. Those are the 2 dead trees. And what's interesting is that they're next to each other, and yet other trees around the property that I equally filled with soil and drove around haven't died, but these 2 died. And one across this little creek right here, another one died right there. So there's a triangle that died, and the one across here, this one right here, and actually there's 2 here. 2 little trees, they both died, and I didn't touch them. I didn't drive around them, I didn't fill around them, and they died also, all in this clump. Something right here affected this group of trees. And there's another one right behind me over here that died. So it's, like I said, it's very centralized. I don't want to dwell too long on that. I'm just saying, I know there's going to be a lot of I told you so's, but I don't really know what's going on with the trees because we had trees die that we didn't even disturb. So while I may have contributed to some of the trees not surviving, it may be something completely different, probably a disease. And I have heard that there is a root disease or some kind of fungal disease that's going around. So it could have been that, could have been anything. The point is we have dead trees, and today I'm going to be taking some of them down. I'm going to be starting with this one. Let me show you. Look at this thing. It just goes straight up. It's a very tall tree. It doesn't have many limbs. And it's pretty small, and since I have a new chainsaw, I think I can take this down. And what I want to do is move the trampoline. We like the trampoline over here, but we want to slide it over. So if I get this tree out of here, I can move the trampoline where I actually want it and have more room over here for other things.
Now look at the size of that green caterpillar.
Wow, that's the same guy?
Yeah.
Cool, he's looking good.
I never saw a caterpillar that big. Never ever.
So you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
I think you always like it when trees come down.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to be wearing my respirator today, but you can see no hose. I'm going to be using this because it's a hard helmet, ear protection, eye protection. It's a little dirty, but I can see through it.
Perfect.
And there's supposed to be an elastic thing here that you put over your chin when you're using it as a respirator, but I just popped it off.
This tree's pretty tall. What would you say? Let's see. 45 feet tall?
No idea. I'm bad with measurements.
I'm going by tens.
We'll try to measure it when it comes down.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to drop it straight into the woods across this way, I'm a little nervous because we have electrical wires, the house, the workshop, and cars right behind it. So I think we're going to pull the excavator around and put some pressure on the tree to make sure it's going to be pushing this way.
Yeah.
I measured 46 feet to where it broke, maybe 50 feet total. She was right. I want to show you guys exactly why it's important to take these trees down now or as soon as possible, because when this fell, look what it did. It shattered. This broke clean off, this broke off, every single branch broke off from the body, and now it's just a straight pole.
Yeah. It's like a loose tooth.
There it is. Wow.
Yeah.
Well guys, I struggled with that stump. It was so hard to get out that halfway through I wish I just had cut it low to the ground and forgot about it. We try to get stumps out whenever possible because they're always a nuisance in the future. It's always in the way of something. So we said, let's get it out. Even with the excavator, man, those roots, they go everywhere and they are huge. And they don't lift out like you would think. You see trees that fall down in a storm?
Yeah.
And you think,
And it's like flat on the bottom, like uprooted.
yeah. But when you try to dig one out, it's not like that.
No. This thing was like a molar, had like a deep root.
Yeah. So it took quite a bit of hacking, and I had to cut some of the roots with my reciprocating saw, and eventually we wiggled it out and dragged it out of the way. Now we got a big hole to fill, but at least the root is gone. It broke right in the main trunk when it came down. This was another big one, and when it dropped, again, shattered into pieces. This is something you don't want above your head like that. When you see it break and how rotted the trunk is, it really It's kind of scary when you think about it, that you could be under here at any time.
Yeah.
And, you know, things happen. So I'm glad we're taking these down and making the property safer. And it's unfortunate that we lost some trees, but it happens. So we still have a couple of more trees to cut. Today I had the intention of coming out and cutting one tree down just for fun. Somehow we managed to turn it into a big project where we're deforesting the whole property. I don't know. So, but we do have a couple more trees that are dead. And it's just when you start seeing these trees shattering and breaking, you realize how important it is to take down those dead trees.
Yeah.
Before they cause a problem, before they land on your property and break something. So.
And some branch falls on someone and.
So we're gonna keep working. We're making a big mess that has to be cleaned up, but we'll get it done eventually. So do you wanna?
Drive over there and I think there's 2 left.
Yeah.
Maybe 3, I'm not sure.
That feels okay.
Just missed the camera. We'll put it in this flat zone over here.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Together and start walking. Okay? Ready? Let's see if it pulls. Oh man, the feet are so embedded. Hold on. Straight back. Good.
How do I?
That one. Push it forward. All right, back up. We got that evening sun coming in, but you guys can see that we got the trampoline moved and we're loving the new spot. It's sitting pretty level. So we're not just moving stuff around for no reason. We're trying to figure out our property. Even though we've been here a while, we're still learning the land, figuring out where we want stuff. When we first moved in, we looked at the property and I said, I want a workshop right here, and we want gardens here, and we want this here. Now, that's totally changed.
Yeah.
Now where we wanted the workshop, we want fruit. We have our blueberries, which are half dead, half alive. We're trying. We're gonna have probably more gardens, vines, plants over where the workshop was going to be. And the workshop now we're planning behind that trampoline. That's part of moving that trampoline. Not that we're getting ready to build, it's just getting stuff where it works the best and getting a feel of the property and getting the flow.
Yep.
So it's a slow process, but now I said this is a property update at the beginning, so I'm just gonna let you know, this year we haven't had any flooding. We haven't had any major rains really.
Yeah, it's been different than the last 2 years that we've been here.
So we can't really test our property to the fullest of what would happen in the worst case scenario, but that's a good thing that we haven't had any flooding.
Yeah.
We had the impression that it's not a yearly thing, it's just a thing that happens sometimes, rarely.
Once in a great while.
Under the right conditions, our property can flood. We got to build for that, we got to plan for that, but it's not stopping us from enjoying this property. Unfortunately, today was my first major damage.
Yeah.
I got a dent in the excavator. I was going past a log and it did something, but it went up and it hit me right in the side, and now I've ruined my almost new excavator. Now it might not look like much, but it is. Pretty dented in right there. Fortunately, I think I could bend this out carefully. So I guess that's the story for today. We got a lot done, but I think we're done working. I know it seems like a lot of good wood getting wasted. We saved some wood, we burned some wood. A lot of that's rotted anyway because it's from dead trees. If we had an outdoor pizza oven, I would save it.
Yeah.
But we just don't have any really good use for wood, and it's not super valuable and nobody really cares about it, and I mean, we have no way to get rid of it, so we burn a little stuff. I did stick some logs in the woods. You saw me going out of my way to carry these monstrous logs and place them in strategic locations in our wooded area. Part of that is to define where we want our growth to be. We have a spot in the front where we want it to stay full for privacy.
Yep.
But then we maintain beyond that area. But also because our daughter asked us to save some logs for her because she really loves decaying logs on the ground. It makes it feel like a real forest. She likes to see them covered in moss and getting full of life. And then later on, when they start decomposing, she can look in there to find all kinds of cool beetles and bugs that are eating the wood. So that's why we save some of the big logs in our forest area, so that she can enjoy the nature. And like I said, the twigs and the junk will burn. And
Yep.
someday I want to build a pizza oven so we can save some wood and start using it.
Yep.
So I guess that's all we have for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.
See ya.
Bye.